We have never been more connected, and yet we never felt more alone. According to Global Wellness Institute, Gen Z reports the highest level of loneliness out of any generation. We have entered the digital universe at our fingertip, but somehow we are the loneliest. It is a paradox that's tearing our generation apart. We can text, we can call, we can swipe, scroll anytime, anywhere we want, and yet we feel invincible and disconnected. It's not about having too much screen time. Of course, it plays a big role in it, but there is a much deeper reason behind this. And this video is not just about why Gen Z is the loneliest generation in history. It is about how we got here, what it is doing to us, and how to break free before it's too late. Highlight reels and influencer culture leave many of us feeling like we're falling behind. We only see the perfect version of everyone. We only see flawless skin, sculpted body, perfect relationship, and everyone seems to be happy all the time. Even though we know most of it is fake and it's curated, but we can't stop comparing ourselves with other people because comparison isn't a logical thing. It is more like a subconscious emotional thing. Your brain doesn't care whether it is Photoshop or not, whether it is fake or real. It just sees someone is doing better than you and it just makes you feel like shit. But here's the thing. It's not just about comparison. Social media messes with something even deeper. Our sense of meaning, our ability to pay attention. And that's where things really start to get break. You might have related to this. There was a phase in my life where I couldn't even finish a 10-minute YouTube video before rumbling through the first 10 seconds. And then I would go into YouTube Shorts and then IG, TikTok, Reddit, and then come back to YouTube again. An hour or two would pass so quickly, but I didn't even remember what I watched 50 seconds ago. That's what felt like when you lose your ability to pay attention. Your attention is how you build meaning. It is a finite resource, just like food and water. Because if you pay attention to one thing, you must ignore the rest. And tech companies know this. They spend billions to grab your attention, to keep you engaged, to keep you hooked. Because the more you spend on those platforms, the more ads they can push and the more money they make. So basically, your attention is the new currency in this digital age. If you lose that, you lose everything. Plus, your brain is not designed to switch tasks every 10 seconds. But when you are scrolling, you're training your brain to do exactly that and rewire your mind to crave stimulation over depth. You open TikTok just to have some fun. I mean, where's the harm in that? But what you are really doing is you are training your brain to reject anything meaningful because meaningful takes time. It takes focus. But when you are scrolling, when you are on social media, it's not doing any of that. In fact, it is destroying it. This is why it is so hard to read a book, to sit through a lecture, to have a conversation with someone without checking your phone. In 1985, Neil Postman warned us about this in his book, Amusing Ourselves to Death. He said the danger wasn't censorship, it is about distraction and entertainment. He was talking about the switch to television as a main media in that period. He concerned that one day we would be so addicted to stimulation that we would stop thinking altogether. That was before the internet. That was before these TikTok and Reels and shit. Now imagine this. That's exactly what is happening. We cannot think anymore. We cannot make decisions to ourselves. No, I'm not fear-mongering in this video. I'm just making you aware that what's happening right now. When your attention is constantly scattered, you automatically stop processing your emotion. You probably might have felt numb after scrolling for hours. You don't know what you want. You don't even know what you're feeling. It is just empty and dull. That's not an incident. That's your nervous system going into a shutdown mode. Because it just got hit with 200 emotions in just 15 minutes. Think about this. You go from a funny meme to a hot stranger dancing to a war video to someone crying about the breakup. That is like 4 different emotions in 60 seconds. Our nervous system isn't built for this kind of stimulation. Back in the day, one read of bad news might take you off for a week or so. Now we get 20 before breakfast. And it is not normal. We are becoming desensitized because we get exposed to too much emotion. And it is rewiring our emotion. Over time, you will start to crave anger and outrage. Not because you want. You will subconsciously looking for bad news. You will subconsciously looking for drama. You will doom scroll for hours. Not because you want. not because you enjoy, because it is a familiar feeling, because you're not feeling anything anymore. Dangerous part is, it doesn't even end here, because all these factors start to rewire our identity as well. Back in 1940s, a psychoanalyst named Jack Lacan, I hope I didn't butcher the pronunciation, he introduced a principle called the mirror stage. He said when a baby sees its reflection on a mirror for the first time, it forms its identity based on what it sees, not on how it feels. It sees itself as a whole, coordinated, perfect being. But the reality is the baby still feels discoordinated and a bit messy because it cannot stand up straight or whatever. In other words, the self is born through external image. Now, fast forward to today, all these IG, TikTok, YouTube, etc. These are all digital mirrors. And just like that baby in Lacan's theory, we see polished version of ourselves on social media. We started to identify with them. We only upload the filter face, the edited body, and the best photo out of hundreds. Of course, it is our photo. It looked like us, but it is a better version of ourselves, and we start to identify. So we chase that better version of that image. We obsess over it. But the reality is not that idealized version of ourselves. So we feel broken, we feel ugly, we feel disconnected. All these things factor your loneliness because you are not even accepting your real self. You cannot connect. You cannot build real connection with people. That's why we feel so lonely. My goal is not to demonize internet and social media. Don't get me wrong, internet and social media is a beautiful thing. It provides us so many opportunities that we never had. I mean, we can learn from each other. We can connect with people from across the globe. We can solve different solutions. We can learn anytime we want. Everything is so accessible to us. I mean, there's so many things. There are so many good things that we can take advantage from social media and the internet. The internet isn't a villain. It is a tool. When you stop choosing what you consume, it starts to choose you. And that is where all these bad shits happen. The solution is conscious consumption, which means you are consciously choosing what you are feeding to your mind. It's exactly like what you are feeding to your body, like a healthy fuel. In order to do that, you need to cultivate good digital habits. I made a full video help you do exactly that.